What's going on out there, good people? It is your boy Look Around with LMD Trading, coming at you today with another daily trade review. Today we will be reviewing 9 trades plus possibly a bonus trade for trades that we took on March 10th. We took 9 trades in our cash account trading options, and we are finishing the day up green. Also took a trade in one of my other accounts, which was a stock play that I definitely would like to review, see how this one played out, and kind of give you a look into the mind of when I take my stock trade. Someone had called it out in the chat group and found a pattern, nice little area that I could get into. So I took the trade and managed it out. But without any further delay, we'll go ahead and pull up. Let's pull up the thumbnail watch list real quick, just to take a look at what we were looking at. So we had our 5 usual stock watches that we're usually watching, plus the SPY and the Qs. And then we had 3 add-ons plus these 2 add-ons. And then this was the one that someone called out while we were in the chat group this morning. So was watching CRWD because it was a major gapper this morning. Coin we added because the Bitcoin had been moving, so we figured we'd take a look at it. Was watching CVX because of the gas and oil things that's going on. And these 2 here, we'll kind of talk about those as we are reviewing them on the trades. So let's get Trader View pulled up. And I was saying all that and I'm on the wrong screen, so let me come on over here. These were the 5 that's usually on there. These 3 here were the ones I was just discussing. AGRI was the one that was called out, and these 2 here were added based on another one of my watch lists. So let's go ahead, get Trader View pulled up, and we will get reviewing. So as I said, we took 9 trades, closed P&L 162. So nice green day. MOS and GILD were on the watch list, not because of how I would normally trade an intraday trade, but like I said, once I pull up the charts, we'll kind of walk through it. Took 2 trades on coin, 1 red, 1 green. Took 1 trade on CRWD, and then these 2 down here at the end of the day to close it out were 2 red trades that probably should not have been taken. Don't even really remember taking Facebook. Apple, I do remember trading and taking the trade and the reason I took it, and we will discuss that once we get looking at it as well. So without any further delay, let's go ahead, pull up our charts, and we will get reviewing. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. I do think that you will enjoy this review. If you haven't already subscribed, please think about subscribing. Once you subscribe, hit that notification bell and click all so that you can be notified whenever I post these reviews, which I try to get out daily. But let's go ahead and get reviewing. First trade that we took this morning was MOS. MOS, if you look at the daily, and let me drag it on over here. Reason that we took MOS, I saw this on one of my other watch lists, made a nice move, and it pulled back. This is what is referred to as a buy setup. So nice move, pull back. You want to enter when the next candle breaks the high of the previous candle. Be setting the stop down here, and then you just let the trade work back up to the next pivot high. And that's how a buy setup works. Usually I won't take these type of trades on a intraday basis, this would be something I trade in my margin account. But I took this trade. So I'm entering right when the market opens because it's already triggered the buy setup. It's already triggered the buy setup. So let's take a look at the trade and we'll see how it played. So I got into this one at 9:31 and 34 seconds. So basically the second candle, soon as the market opened. We're getting in right here. You won't see no pattern on this one because we aren't entering this one off of the intraday chart. But thought process, get in. If this was a true, like a overnight hold or a swing trade, I'm setting my stop down here. And I'm buying this with a relatively low delta. It wouldn't be the usual 25 to 35 delta. It would be maybe about a 0.20, so not too far off. But we entered that trade right there. Again, stop is going to be somewhere in the middle of this since we're intraday trading it. And we got out of this one at 9:48, and we bought 2 contracts. So first one we got out of 9:48, so we're getting out in this candle here, and then the second one we got out in the next candle. But we see it open, pull back, made a nice move, and we're out of it right here. And look at the numbers on this one. I think you'll be a little impressed. 2 contracts, we paid $33 per contract. So we paid, what's that, 66 bucks? We paid $66 for these contracts, and we sold them for $76 for the first one. So $76 for this one. And then the next one I sold for $75. So lost 1 penny. And we made $85. So on a $66 investment, we made $85. So it was a nice trade. And as you can see, left money on the table. And the other thing is, this being a daily buy setup, I could have let this run all day. Look where we set. That's low of the day right there. Let's take a look at the full chart and see what it did. And we'll see. I'm going to come back here. Actually, let me blow it up just so we can get the full picture of it. So we see that this never even came back to our entry. We entered this thing right here. Our stop. Let's drop a line middle of the candle. And let's see where that is. Our stop is way down there. And in that little short time, we made 86 bucks. Now let me readjust this to auto and let's see what it did the rest of the day. So it never would have come down and hit us, and we could have held this all day and got out here. But most likely if we held it all day, we would have been getting out about 350. But let's see where this closed at. Let's see where this closed at. So that was March 11, $62 call. And as you can see, it's purple. Purple means that it's in the money. So this is in the money. And right now it closed at $1.15. So it closed at $115 per contract for a contract that we paid $33 for. So that is a nice return on your investment right there. But that's how we started the morning off. A little non-traditional, not the usual intraday play where I'm looking for a pattern. But I took the pattern based on the daily chart. And again, this here probably has potential to come back up to the high. So I will probably buy a call in my regular account. I don't know. Seeing how this moves tomorrow, you may see me take another trade on this if it opens breaking this candle because it's going to break that red candle. Let's take a peek. See how those right there came back up to that red candle? So if it breaks the high of those tomorrow, you'll probably see me take a trade on this again, playing it up to the yearly high of 64, because right now it's at 62.19. So that's a $2 move that we still have in that. So you might see me trade that again tomorrow. But we'll get on to the next trade. Next trade that we took was GILD. Again, this was another one that we were getting in based on the daily chart. This one here was a put play. So let's look at the daily chart, and we see here got a nice little breakdown here. So if this thing can break below these three candles, we want to get in it. We want to be a part of the trade. And again, this is another one that we can trade, and we could have just let this play all day. We could have let this play all day based on we're getting in on a daily. So again, this is one that I usually would take in my other account, but let's go ahead and see how it played out. So we got in this one at 941. And let's just see where the low of that candle is. So the low of that candle is about, let's call it 59.08. So we got in this one at 941. So we're getting in on this candle right here. And we said the low of that candle was 59. So it's already triggered us in. We could have been getting in right here because this is our line. We really should have been doing the same thing that we did on MOS. We should have been getting in this as the market opened. But we got in way down here and two contracts, and we got out of these two contracts at 949. So we're getting out as it's pulling back up. As it's pulling back up. And we made $28 on these two contracts. These contracts, we paid $40 a piece. So we paid $80. Sold them for $54 each. So we made $28. Another nice return on our investment. But again, based on this daily strategy, we really could have held these. We could have held these and let them ride pretty much all day. But wanted to capture some profit. It pulling back up. We can find another entry. And that's what we did. So second trade, we made 28 bucks. We've already hit our goal of the day. We're at 113 right now on those two trades. But we did get back into GILD. And we got in GILD at 954. Let's see where 954 is. So that candle there is 954. So just like I said, it pulled back. We actually would have been getting in as it broke the low of this candle right here. So we had a buy setup on the daily on MOS. This is a sell setup on the intraday. And you play it the same way. But this one here, giving it extra wiggle room and putting the stop up near the VWAP. Because we do know that this has a potential to come back up to VWAP. Second thing is, this made a nice move. It really needed to rest it about needed to rest about halfway up. So it needed to come and rest up about in this area. So we knew to put our stop up here, but we entered the trade here and we got out of the first contract at 1054. So we kind of let this one play out. And again, really could have been holding this to end the day if we wanted to. But we got out of the first one right there. And then we got out of the next one at 1059. So let's find 1059. That's that candle right there. So in right here, stop is up here at the VWAP. We see it never came back up to where we would have had our stop, but it did come back up to VWAP. And then it made this move, pull back, Look at where it's pulling back to. Resistance, resistance, resistance. And then it made this move. We got out of the first contract here, second contract here. These we paid $46 per contract. So paid $92 for the two of them. This one here we sold for $56. This one here we sold for $62. And we made another $26. So quick pops. And these contracts, inexpensive because the delta on those weren't that big. But let's take a look and see how this played all the way out. So we see this came down. Had we rolled it, we probably could have rolled it till about here and then let it start to pull back up. But we got what we wanted out of the trade. Got what we wanted out of the trade, and we're good. And we see this one here is in the money as well. It's purple, but it's at 36 cents right now. It's 36 cents. And the reason for that, I'm going to say, is theta. Is theta. So let's take a look at it real quick. We'll come to trade. 58, that's the right one. March 11, 58. Wow, look at the theta. So this here is saying, for every dollar, you're going to make $54. The gamma is going to, after it goes 54, you'll make another 49 on the next dollar. But you're going to lose $29 in theta. That's decay. But what I find crazy, look at the theta on all these other ones. Pretty much single digit. This one here is 10. But why is the theta so high? That's kind of strange. But the other thing that's strange, look at the gamma. You'll make more money if it changes, but you're going to lose quite a bit. So this thing doesn't even have to move. And at the end of the day, you're going to lose $29. So that's why that right there, because this really should be higher because it's in the money. But that theta, for some reason on this one, is just killing it. But that was our, what's that? Our third trade of the day. And we're in the green good. Starting the morning off pretty doggone good. And then we went back to MOS. MOS. So made money on this nice little move. This trade here, again, we've seen this on some other trades. This is not a trade that's in my trading plan. But I looked at this and I saw these big wide range green candles. And I said, this has to come back down. So I put puts on this one. And let's see where we were getting in on this thing at. So 957. 957. Right there. We bought one put. Bought one put. So we saw this nice top and tail right here. Nice top and tail. And we got out of this one at 1028. Where's 1028 at? We got out of this one right here. So the play, get in here. We bought one put. We paid $26 for this one put. We put our stop up here. Put our stop up there. Plan is to ride it down to here. If it breaks through, we'll hold it. It broke through. Then it made this move to come back up, and we got out of it. But this one here, we made $9. Made $9 on this trade. And you look at it and you say, that's a decent move. You only made $9. But it was because of the delta that we had. This was a real low delta. And that's why we really didn't make much money on this trade. Let's see. March 22 or March 11, 57 put. So that's that right there. Look at the delta, $5. And this is adjusted a little bit, but that just gives you an idea. So the delta for every dollar that this moved, you was only going to make $5. These here are ones that you just buy 10 contracts because it was only $10. You could buy 10 contracts at $100, and then that give you a little flexibility to kind of scale your way out of the trade. But that was a thought process on that one there. But it was green nonetheless. Green nonetheless. So we're green on our first 4 trades. And we took 9 trades. 3 of the trades were red, 6 of them green. So not bad. That's about 66% batting average. So decent. But we're coming up on our first red trade. So let's take a peek at it. This was coin. Coin was on my list solely because crypto was making a move. So I was like, let's see if we can make a move with it. This didn't open up impressive at all. It did not open impressive. And we bought puts. So let's see what we were seeing when we bought these puts. Got this one at 10.04. This was an ugly trade. I can already tell this was an ugly trade. Nothing really here that's saying to buy right here. Nothing. You look at this chart. You're in the middle of this range. And this was only one put. So watch when you look at the numbers on this. We're in the middle of this. No pattern. You got the VWAP up above you still. And you got resistance right here that's going to push this back up. So stop should be here. Because we know this is going to act. If it comes up to here, let's go ahead and get out of it. You can put it up there for a little extra cushion. But we got out of this one at 10.18. Let's see where 10.18 is at. Right there. Missed our stop here. And we finally got out up here like, all right, this is it. Hindsight 2020. Once you up here, why not just hold it up to here? You already in it. You already blew past your stop. And look what it did. It came up. It's going to act as a little resistance. And it pushed it back down. But look at the narrow range. 168, 174. $6 that this traded in between. So this stock was ugly. Let's zoom it out. You can't really make no money in that little zone there, the way this was trading. And find a real pattern. It never did uptrend. It never did downtrend. It just chopped around. And this one got us for $30. 30 bucks. Next trade that we took was Crowd. CRWD. And CRWD was on the watch list because this thing was gapping up crazy. This was gapping up crazily. If we look over here at our daily ideas watch list, this thing was up 12% today on a $190 stock. It's up $21. That's crazy. Let me kind of blow that out. The average trading range of this is $13. We call it $14. So it's up $8 over its usual trading range. So we added this to the watch list, and let's see if we took a good valid trade on it. We got in at 10.07. So let's see where 10.07 is. 10.07 would have been that candle right there. So this came down, pulled down, came up, consolidated above this area, pushed up, pulled back. Halfway decent pullback if you're looking at this little area here. This consolidation takes care of this wide range candle. This pullback, half of this move, takes care of this area. Entry when it breaks that candle. It's a good entry for the buy setup. So we're in a little late. We're in a little late. but we're in here. Stop is going to be down here somewhere. We got close. If you think about that, just looking at this, I'm eyeballing. Stop should have been right around here. If you look at this candle, stop should have been about right there. So looked like we might have came close to stopping out, but we got out of this one at 1022. 1022. Bam, right there as it's making and pulling back right here. And that there was one contract. We made 54 bucks on that one, but we paid $296 for the contract, sold it at $350. So this one, the delta on this was probably a little higher than those other ones. And let's see, and look at that. This again shows you what theta can do. Because this one here is down at 64 cents right now. Let's take a peek. Take a peek, just see what the delta is. So this 200, March 11. It was expire tomorrow. 200, March 11. And you do see theta is 55. So theta is killing that thing. Theta is killing it. Theta is killing it. So let us go to our next trade. Next trade was coin. So took our first trade on coin and we lost a few coins. And then this time we went back to puts again. Let's see if this was a valid trade. Click that. Let's blow that up. This time we got in at 1031 and this thing is just bleeding. It's just bleeding. Let's see where we got in. 1031. We're getting in on that candle. Guess what this trade is? Guess what that trade is? If you out there looking at that, and I'm entering it right here, what would you think that trade was if you just had to guess? I'm going to give you about 2 seconds. All right, you ain't get the answer. This was a FOMO trade. I saw this right here, and I'm like, good googly moogly. Let me get some. No reason to take this trade other than FOMO. Fear of missing out. I wanted some of that. I bought 3 contracts. 3 contracts. I got out of the first contract. Actually, I got out of the first 2 contracts, 1037. So getting out of the first one right there. Again, charts marked. We knowing that this is going to be our area to get out because that's going to act as resistance. So got out of 2 of them there. And then we got out of the last one right there. And we bought these 3 contracts for $100. Sold the first 2 for $110. Sold the last one for $120. And we made $40 on this trade. $40. FOMO trade. FOMO, 110%. No reason. But we made 40 bucks on it. Should I be happy? I should be. Am I happy? I ain't gonna lie, I am. I made 40 bucks, but I shouldn't be because that was not a good trade. That was straight FOMO. So if you got that right, please give yourself a hand clap. All right, now we're coming up to these 2 last trades. These 2 last trades were red trades. Let's go ahead, take a peek. Facebook. Facebook's choppy. I will say, while I was sitting in the chat room, one of the guys that I kind of chat with, Jonathan, had mentioned, take a look at Facebook. Facebook was on my chart right next to another stock that I was looking at. So I glanced, I'm like, oh, wow, dang. But again, I wasn't really paying attention to it, and ended up taking a trade on it. Got in at 1045. So let's take a look. Let's see what we were seeing. Got in right there. It's another FOMO trade. Plain and simple. Another FOMO trade. Got in right here thinking, okay, let's put our stop right there. Play it down. Stopped out of this one at 1048. Where's 1048? That's going to be that candle right there. And look at that. We had our stop right there. This thing comes up. Peekaboos. Stopped us out. And it made this move. And we lost $30 on this trade. Not a good trade. Not a good trade. I can understand my thought process on it. But not a good trade. Gave back 30 bucks on it too. Next trade. Last trade in this account. Apple. I do clearly remember this trade. This was an interesting trade. I hadn't looked because this was one that I got in it and then I set brackets and then I closed my computer and went to lunch. But this one here, we see Apple again as a little choppy. Got in this one at 1152. So we'll mark it and then I'll kind of tell you what I was looking at, tell you my thought process on it. So 1152, we're getting into it right here. Thought process being, let's set our stop right here. We'll set our target down here somewhere. And let's walk away from this thing. Let's let our brackets work for us. Good entry? Not really. We did get the M top after it, and then the M top would have been a good entry. But on this side, not a good entry. Again, we got in it. We set our bracket to lose $20. We said, okay, we lose 20 bucks. Got the chance on it to keep moving. And we got out of this trade at 1222. 1222. I looked at my phone and saw I was out of the trade, but I never did look back at the chart. So this right here just, ooh. Look at that. This thing stopped us. Peekabooed and bam. Right idea, tight stop. I could have put the stop up here, took a $25. Put it up there, took a $30. But my mindset was I'm gonna risk $20 on this trade. That's amazing now that I look at this. And that's how trading is. That little bit of area is all it takes to stop you out and bam, keep moving. So those were our 9 trades that we took today. Like I say, we did finish up 162 on the day, so not a bad day. But I did take another trade that I want to kind of review real quick if y'all don't mind. If not, I appreciate you staying for the ride this long. And again, if you hadn't clicked that like button, please go ahead and do that. I would greatly appreciate it. But I'm gonna switch it over to this one real quick. So in the chat group that I sit in, someone had called out AGRI. I took a look at it and I wasn't thoroughly impressed with it looking at the daily. I know this daily is a little small. Let me see. Boom. Let's go back to charts. Let's go here. These don't really, it's not too much bigger. I'll try to walk through it doing this. I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna change this to my IRA. And what do I want to do? Let's go to monitor. Is it monitor? Yeah, let's go to monitor. So I'll come here just to get the details of this one. So this one here was watching it, and I looked at the daily and I saw where the lines were at. So I saw that this needed to get over, really needed to get over this area to kind of break and get ghost. But it had an area of about $4. So yeah, right there, right where it kind of mushed up at, was an area of resistance. So I saw that it was in this flag, and I put an order in for 341. So I put 341 on the bracket. I came here, I highlighted this candle, looked up at the range. The range was 27 cents. So I bought 100 shares. I'm risking $25. So because of the 25 cents in this candle, it breaks 341. I'm in the trade. Stop is going to be down here. First target was $4 because I knew this area was here. So let's take a look at the numbers real quick, and then we'll look and see how we managed it. So we'll come back here. We see, got in the trade. It triggered me in 341 at 11:12. Out of the trade, 398. I did 398 because I didn't want it to come up to 4 and not make it to 4. So 2 cents below it. So I sold my first order, 50 shares, 398. And then this last 50, I managed it out. And when I say I managed it out, I put my stop, I put a lower stop, but not an upper stop. So let me come back here. I'm going to start putting these on the chart real quick. So, let's see. So 11:29 and 12:16. 11:29. 11:29. 11:29. So we'll put that one there, and then 12:16. 12:16. All right, there we go. So we got in right here, right as it's breaking this area. Stop is down here. This thing came up, hit our first target, got us out of the trade. And then our second lot of 50, I just moved the stop up. So every time this thing, so once this held and moved up, I moved the stop up to right here. This came up and broke and held, I moved the stop up to right here. This came up, broke and held, I moved the stop up right here. And I didn't have the stop in there at this point. I did that once I saw that it was holding this area. Moved it up, set it right here. And then once this kind of chopped around and started making this move, I put the stop just below this candle, and we see what it did. Came, stopped me out. Actually, it would have stopped these people out too. So had people had their stops right here, right on this line, chopping them out, stopping them out. And then it finally just broke, and it didn't matter where you had to stop at. You wanted to be getting out of it because it was done. But this was a nice trade. This was a nice trade. I recently opened up an IRA account with TD Ameritrade, and I took this trade in that account. So those were my trades. And then I did have one other one, XLE, which was it's the energy ETF. I took this trade a few days ago and just closed it out. It was just 5 shares. Again, this is a new count, just messing around, and closed it out. as the day was ending. Let me take a look and see what it's done. XLE. It's made a nice move on the daily. Yeah, it's made a nice move. Kind of pulled back, kind of moving. I probably could have stayed in that and just let it play back out up to the 80. But I got out pretty much break even. May have made a few dollars on it, but wasn't really doing nothing spectacular. I was just trying to see if it was going to pop off of this candle. I got in right here where this arrow is at. That was the open that day. And popped, pulled back. So let me get out of that trade, free up some capital, and try to do something else at a later date. But hope y'all enjoyed these reviews. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and we'll be ready to get back in the market tomorrow. So hope y'all have a great day. Peace.